Good afternoon slash evening slash whenever you're watching this. Today's slidecast will be about American inventor, visioneer, pioneer, and mustachioed connoisseur Howard Hughes, a man whose futurist ideals in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s made him a force to be reckoned with in all of his entrepreneurial discourse. When most people think of Hughes, the first thing that comes to mind is his achievements in the field of aviation, such as founding the Hughes Aircraft Company and the creation of this guy, the Spruce Goose, known still today as the largest aircraft to ever take flight. However, Hughes was not a man who was limited to just aviation within his lifetime. Among his other notable business ventures included an entertainment company, a medical center, and many other small businesses that he created during his lifetime in order to expand his entrepreneurial spirit as far as he could. So, why do I think that Hughes is a futurist? Simple. His drive to innovate and to invent. He was never a man who was happy with the way things were and always thought that technology could be progressed further, rather being through his aviation technologies or his medicinal technologies. He was a man who wanted to progress forward. So, let's start with the field that Howard Hughes was known in the most, aviation. His advancements in the field of aviation involved going further, higher, and faster than anyone had ever before. So much so that a movie was even based off his life called The Aviator, starring permanent Oscar nominee Leonardo DiCaprio. From a young age, it was evident that Hughes was an inventor and an innovator. He often liked to stay home from school and tinker with his bike or other household technologies. This led to him becoming engrossed in the field of aviation after one day his father gave him a ride on a flying boat. In 1923, Hughes inherited his father's tooling company and renamed it Toolco. A few years later, in the early 1930s, Hughes created the Hughes Aircraft Company, pictured here, as a division of Toolco. It was his first big venture into the field of aviation. Right from the get-go, Hughes decided to innovate in the aviation world rather than simply manufacture pre-styled aircraft. The first example of this came with his H-1 Racer, an aircraft Hughes specifically designed to be the fastest in the world and one he would use for a transcontinental flight. Hughes and his H-1 broke all the records it was designed to with little difficulty. The aircraft helped solidify Hughes as an aviation futurist, as his aircraft helped to advance aviation technology with features such as retractable landing gear and interchangeable wings. However, Hughes was not done yet, as in 1938 he embarked on another adventure.
Next, Hughes wanted to fly around the world faster than anyone ever had. And in the process, beat Charles Lindbergh's 33.5-hour record time to Paris, set in 1927. But in technological terms, Hughes' journey would vastly differ from Lindbergh's. The aircraft Hughes chose was the Lockheed 14.
The Lockheed 14 Super Electra that Hughes used for this record-setting flight was another testament to his advancements in aviation technology. The aircraft was crammed with the latest instruments and had specially supercharged engines. In 1938, Hughes completed his flight in 91 hours, thus beating Lindbergh's record and setting the fastest time in the world. In short, Hughes's role as an aviation futurist helped to greatly advance the field in the 1920s and 30s. His new technologies, in tandem with them breaking world records, served his vision of progressing the world of aviation forward into an era where there would be no limits to flight. After his aviation career, Hughes decided to try his hand in Hollywood as a prolific film director. Unfortunately, this was also the time where his mental disorders of OCD and depression started to initially surface. During the filming of his first movie, Hell's Angels, the poster of which is here, Hughes was noted as having one of his first mental breakdowns. However, being the forward and futurist thinker he was, Hughes saw this as an opportunity rather than an ailment. In his last few years, he created the Howard Hughes Medical Institute to promote, quote, human knowledge within the field of the basic sciences and its effective application for the benefit of mankind. This motto has resonated within the Hughes Medical Institute as it continues today to be at the forefront of medical technology and research. The venture also serves to aid Hughes's case as a futurist, as in a time where mental disorders were not entirely understood, he imagined a world where they would not be an ailment to society. To sum up, Howard Hughes made many advancements in his lifetime. As an aviation futurist, Hughes served to progress the field more than anyone near him could. In his lifetime, he set the fastest speed record in his H-1 Racer, circumnavigated the globe in his Lockheed 14 Super Electra, and created the largest flying aircraft known to man, the Hercules H-4 Spruce Goose. In addition, Hughes's ventures into the medical field helped him to envision a world where the mental disorders that plagued him for the latter part of his life would not be a part of society. To this day, the Howard Hughes Medical Institute strives toward that goal and remains at the forefront of medical research. Finally, as a man who was eager to gain experience in every possible field, Hughes also dipped his hand in the movie-making business. Unfortunately for Hughes, this venture was not able to last incredibly long, as the stress from direction, coupled with his rising OCD and depression, caused him to drop out of the filmmaking business. In conclusion, to summarize my thesis, why is Howard Hughes a futurist? Because of his drive to innovate, invent, and to never settle. In terms of aviation, he envisioned a future for flight by pushing the boundaries of what was possible and what could be achieved. In the medical spectrum, he helped to further imagine a world where mental disorders would no longer plague society. And there you have it, the man, the legend, and the, legend, Howard Hughes. Aviator, filmmaker, innovator, futurist.